Welcome. I'm Pastor Curtis, and I welcome you to Early Church Vibe, where we are discussing what it would take for us to be able to operate the way the early church operated. And this week, we're going to continue our discussion looking into the things that define purpose for us as believers. We've talked about devotion, we've talked about having a heart of love, and this time we're going to talk about the imperative that Jesus gave us, which was to be a people who were working to spread the gospel to the rest of the world. So in Matthew 28, verses 18 through 20, we have a passage that's called the Great Commission by many. And in that passage, Jesus said this. He said, "All authority in heaven and earth has been given to me. Go therefore and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit, teaching them to obey all that I have commanded you. And behold, I am with you always to the end of the age." So this passage gives us great clarity that we're supposed to be, as disciples, a people who are sharing what we know about God and inviting others to have this saving knowledge of Jesus. And it's not just having knowledge. You might remember in that passage it says, teaching them to obey all that I have commanded you. So we are supposed to embrace what Jesus has told us and then make it active in our life and then be able to help others be able to do the exact same thing. So it is very much an active thing to do. Now there is a part of this passage that's important. A lot of people will focus and go back to the Greek, and they define the imperative to be go. And I would like to offer that I believe the imperative actually is on make disciples. So the go part, I think, has led a lot of people to believe they have to leave where they are to go reach people and to be able to disciple them. And I would actually contend the people you are supposed to reach are the people right where you're at. And certainly, if you were to be extremely effective and see God move mightily, it could be that you're going to have to leave where you are because everybody knows Christ, and there's no opportunity to further develop others. And so if that's where you found yourself, then certainly I think there's an imperative to go and expand your reach. But I think too often people are defeated by this idea that, well, I don't really feel like I can leave all that I have, that the relationships I have and all the investment that I've made in others, I don't think it would be right to leave here. And so it gives us a way to kind of step out of being a people who disciple and evangelize. And I would contend that's actually exactly what a disciple does, but you don't have to go anywhere to do it. Right where you're at is the mission field that God has put you in, and you can be highly effective right there. It requires intentionality on your part. It requires you sitting at the feet of Jesus and showing him your absolute devotion. And as you do that, I believe that he will empower you. The Holy Spirit will give you the words to say. He will continue to disciple and work to sanctify you so that your lifestyle and your thoughts are attractive to those who don't know Jesus or who need to know more about him in developing themselves as disciples. So it's very important that you have clarity about that. There's a great book that was written by Dave Earley and Ron Dempsey, and the book is called Discipleship Is. I highly recommend. You can find it on things like Amazon and download it to Kindle or have it shipped to you. And this book does a great job of reminding us what it means to engage in discipleship. And really one of the profound statements that I kind of came away from that book with is that the way you know you're a disciple is if you've discipled someone. If you've never discipled anyone, then you haven't engaged in discipleship. You're a person who maybe has taken, but you haven't given. And so I think that's a tremendous definition. It really helps give clarity that we should be a people who are involved in helping others, and that it becomes kind of what we're known for, that we have a legacy of people that we've made a difference with. So I highly encourage you to grab a hold of the Great Commission and make it your own and do what Jesus has asked you to do. Disciple others, teach them all that he has commanded as you live that out in your own life. Next time we'll talk about more actions that we can take to enhance our ability to be a disciple. God bless you.